Hello, I would like to make a video about which airlines do I fly. Not just one-off airlines that I may just fly one time or just two times throughout my lifetime, but airlines that I do fly on a regular basis and the reasons why, and whether or not I actually have status in any of these airlines. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about Hong Kong Airlines. Hong Kong Airlines is, of course, an airline of Hong Kong. It is based in Hong Kong. Now, I really like this airline because it's a red color and has the national flower of Hong Kong. It's really, really adorable, and the airplane cabins are quite attractive. I used to fly Hong Kong Airlines quite often between Hong Kong and Taiwan. The reason why I used to fly Hong Kong Airlines is mainly because of AirPass. Let's click on AirPass right here. What is AirPass? AirPass is a feature that I've only seen on Hong Kong Airlines and not any other airlines. However, I could be wrong. Basically, you choose from Hong Kong to any destination here listed. For example, Hong Kong to Taipei, Hong Kong to Tokyo, and so on. If you fly often between these two destinations, you can perhaps save a little bit of money. For example, let's click on Hong Kong to Taipei. Here we see that I have 3 tickets here, or 5 tickets, 3 tickets, and 5 tickets, either for economy class or business class. So it's 4,200 Hong Kong dollars for all 3 tickets. So you do the math, that's approximately 180 US dollars for 1 ticket. It is kind of expensive here, but usually the price is a little bit cheaper. So you can perhaps save a little bit of money if you buy 5 tickets or 3 tickets instead of just buying a one-off ticket. I used to buy a 5-pack of tickets here, economy, before for a really good price, roughly 120 US dollars. That was some years ago. Now, the reason why I don't fly Hong Kong Airlines anymore is because of COVID. I've flown Hong Kong Airlines many times between Taipei and Hong Kong before international flight, mind you. I booked a 5-pack of tickets here for a certain amount of price, roughly $120 per ticket. But because of COVID, I was unable to fly anywhere, and therefore Hong Kong Airlines took away my AirPass because there is a restricted amount of time you have to use the AirPass. Basically, it is a use it or lose it type of ticket. So I lost perhaps 3 of my tickets. I could not gain them back, and I no longer have any type of status of Hong Kong Airlines, which I'm not saying I will never fly Hong Kong Airlines again. However, I will not buy this 3-pack again unless I really have to because of the undesirable outcome I had before. But it is a very nice airline, and I really love the cabin. I typically fly Hong Kong Airlines between Taipei and Hong Kong. However, I did fly business class from Hong Kong to LAX before, and that was quite interesting. I don't necessarily recommend it, but it was a cheap flight. Okay, next airline I would like to talk about is China Airlines. As you may know, China Airlines is my favorite airlines, partly because I have been gold status of this airlines for the last 10 plus years. So every single airline I talk about in this video here, I basically have no status except for China Airlines. I do have gold status in China Airlines. And the reason why I like China Airlines so much is not just because I have gold status for the last 10 plus years, it's because China Airlines does fly to every single destination that I want to go to. China Airlines flies to Tokyo, Osaka, which I go quite often. I've flown China Airlines to Hong Kong many times before. Also to Shenzhen, China, where your iPhone is probably produced many times before. I've flown China Airlines to Vietnam, Hanoi. I've flown China Airlines to Singapore and Malaysia and so on. So I fly China Airlines pretty much everywhere if possible because they do treat me very, very right. And I do quite often get upgraded on many of their flights. And I also flown China Airlines from LAX to Taiwan. Now, one reason why I like flying China Airlines, not just because I have status and because they treat me right, is because they also fly from Taiwan to LAX and also to Ontario International Airport, which is in Southern California, which is roughly 1 hour drive from LAX. I will explain why in a future video, but going to Ontario is very, very beneficial for me. That is the primary reason why I fly China Airlines. As I mentioned before, I do have gold status with China Airlines. Let's talk about some of the membership benefits. because it is the only airline that I do have status with. Here's the silver card, gold card, emerald card, and paragon card. Paragon card is the highest ranking card. To me, there's actually no benefit in flying emerald or having emerald or paragon status. Gold card is the sweet spot. Why? Of course, you do get more incentive mileage here. However, why gold card is a sweet spot? Because airport priority. You do have airport check-in counter here for gold card status. That will save you a lot of time, perhaps 1 hour plus, because the lines for international flights can be very, very long. So you don't have to wait for the long line. It's very good. I saved a ton of time. Extra baggage allowance. When you fly internationally using China Airlines, you have two pieces of check-in luggage. This allows you to put 3 pieces on. And I typically always have 3 pieces because I always have lots of food that I'm buying and bringing back. I bring back lots of food or lots of gift items for my friends and family, so I often quite need to have 3 pieces of luggage. If I don't necessarily use 3 pieces of luggage, I can have one and give it to my wife. So actually, I have one of my wife's suitcases, so I have 2. She has 2. We check in together, and essentially all 4 pieces of luggage is allowed here because of gold status here. Priority baggage handling. This is very good because I get my luggage before the normal people here, and that will save me maybe 15, 20 to maybe up to 40 minutes of waiting time when I have arrived at my destination, which is very, very useful for me. And one of the major downfalls of Starlux Airlines because they don't have priority baggage handling for if you fly business class. So that's why I like China Airlines a lot here. And of course, airport VIP lounge access. This is not so important to me, but the China Airlines lounge in Taoyuan International Airport in Taiwan is very, very nice. I made a video about that before. Of course, you do earn extra mileage and stuff like that. It is definitely my preferred airlines. Okay, going on to my next airlines is Cathay Pacific. Again, I don't necessarily have any status here. However, I am working on getting Cathay Pacific base status here. Where do I fly Cathay Pacific? I've flown Cathay Pacific between Taipei and Hong Kong again. I've flown from Hong Kong to Japan and from Hong Kong to LAX. The Cathay Pacific, I do like the colors of the airplane. The service is very nice. It's one of the top 10 airlines in the world in terms of service, and the prices are pretty good. I like flying them. I haven't flown Cathay Pacific in a while, but I do anticipate flying Cathay Pacific more often because I do want to get status of Cathay Pacific. One reason why I like Cathay Pacific is because they have different ways to earn miles. For example, if you go to Taiwan here, or Hong Kong, or Macau, or mainland China, they have a list of various restaurants you can go to and earn miles. So it's kind of similar to like Marriott dining in the US, but this is Cathay Pacific dining. And it's not just limited to the US, as you can see it's limited to Hong Kong, Taiwan, Macau, and mainland China here. So you can go to any of these restaurants, and depending on which country you go to, you can earn miles based off essentially $1 equals 1 mile, or maybe more. I think in Hong Kong it is a lot more than Taiwan. So I've been to many of these restaurants before, and I have earned a lot of Cathay Pacific miles because of that. And it's good because Cathay Pacific miles do expire 18 months if you do not earn any miles or fly any airlines with Cathay Pacific. So you dine in once every 18 months here, you can earn miles and keep your account alive here. So one reason why I want to get status here, or one way to get status kind of, is to get the Cathay Pacific credit card. The annual fee is $95 US. The earnings is not so good. 2 Asia miles per $1 US for Cathay Pacific purchases and flights. 1.5 miles in the US or outside the US. Stuff like that, which is not so great. However, there are some benefits here. So it is a benefit card, not an earning card. One benefit is priority check-in here. Your travel companions can also get this priority check-in. Again, that can save you half an hour to longer depending on the long lines, especially for international flights. So this can save you half an hour. Priority boarding, I really don't care about that, but it can save you some pain if you check in a little bit earlier, if you can board in a little bit earlier. The rest of the stuff here is not really useful here, but you have to pay $95 annual fee, but you do get 38,000 bonus miles you spent for $3,000 US in the first 90 days. Not really worth it, but it might be worthwhile if you do fly Cathay Pacific quite often. Cathay Pacific does have other credit cards that have better earnings, such as in Taiwan and in Hong Kong. I'm going to look into that later on. Okay, next airline that I do fly is Starlux Airlines. Starlux Airlines is quickly becoming one of my favorite airlines. I've flown Starlux Airlines quite a few times already. I've flown it from Taiwan to Macau, and I've flown it from US LAX to, I was about to fly it to Singapore. However, all the flights were booked, so unfortunately I did decide to fly using China Airlines, which is fine. However, I do want to use the Starlux Airline Lounge in Taoyuan International Airport. I heard it is very, very good and very, very beautiful. Very, very Jetsons type of theme. I don't have status Starlux Airlines, but the airline itself is very, very nice, and I hope to fly them many more times in the future. Okay, the next airline that I do fly quite often is EVA Airlines, also known as EVA Airlines. I fly EVA Airlines quite often. I recently flown EVA Airlines to Vietnam, specifically Da Nang, Vietnam. I've flown Starlux Airlines between Taiwan and Hong Kong, and to Japan. And actually, I've flown EVA Airlines from Taiwan to Hawaii via Japan. So it is very nice airlines, and I also flown EVA Airlines to Seattle recently, within the last year. So I do fly EVA Airlines quite often. I don't currently have status of it because I do fly many different airlines. I do like the airline, however, I do feel like Starlux Airlines and Cathay Pacific do have better service. But EVA Airlines is, again, one of the top 10 airlines in the world in terms of service. They do recently have a new Seattle Taipei route, which is kind of nice. And they do fly to various other countries in Asia, Southeast Asia here. Okay, the last airline that I do have status with is ANA Airlines. I fly ANA Airlines specifically to Japan. I also flown ANA Airlines to the US before. So this is very good. It is a Japanese airline, so you do get good service. It's also one of the top 10 airlines in the world. So as you can see, I fly lots of Asian airlines: Hong Kong Airlines, China Airlines, Cathay Pacific, Starlux, EVA Airlines, ANA Airlines. I do not fly Delta, American Airlines, Southwest, and so on like that. I only fly Asian Airlines. One reason why I only fly Asian Airlines is because I made this video before, just because of the better service and so on, and also because they have better routes. If I mainly travel within Asia, then the number of flights available is a lot more. That's all I have to say. Thank you. Bye.